Good morning, everyone. Jim Clark here at the Synchronicity Sanctuary here in Central Virginia to share another contemplation with you. And the contemplation for this Monday is to change your life is to change your vibration. You are your vibration. You experience as you vibrate. So I'm going to try to clarify some misunderstandings that are very common around this concept and this experience of raising your vibration. We've heard that term before. Remember back in the 60s and 70s, good vibes was a very popular phrase, and for those who were meditating, it meant raising your vibration. So what does this really mean, and what's the process of it? Well, obviously, meditation is a fundamental practice that allows you to raise your vibration, to increase the speed of your vibration, of your form. Now, some people think and get confused because when you first start meditating and you first start to go through your self-inquiry process, what you're really doing in this process is you're house cleaning. The memories of slower vibrations which create the illusion of separation are still in your energy field. And the first thing you want to do is start to bring those to awareness and then to clear them. So you have the experience of meditation, which increases your vibration temporarily, gives you some expansion in your awareness, and then the memories that are not commensurate with that experience come to the surface, and that's how you can clear them. And eventually, you get to the point where you don't get interference with the process of increasing your vibration from memory. So that's that process. And in that process, one of the first areas of our primary trinity, which is the mental dimension, gets a lot of attention because we have a lot of data that we're processing. So there, it's actually kind of the reverse. And there, instead of increasing our vibration, we want to slow the mind down. We want to emphasize a slower vibrational pattern, a slower frequency of vibration pattern, which takes us out of the beta frequencies, which is a busy mind, all the way down to the delta, which is like very, very slow for a mind. Because once we establish a dominant lower frequency of vibration mentally, we are opening the door for communication to the subtler dimensions of ourself. So for the mind, it's kind of the reverse. To change your life, you want to decrease your vibration, but to experience yourself and your world holistically, your form must increase its vibration. It has to become more subtle. Because the relative field is multidimensional, from subtle to dense, and all forms of consciousness are multidimensional. The subtle dimensions vibrate or oscillate very fast. It's often said that they vibrate from the speed of light and beyond towards infinite velocity. The experience is holistic. And the reason for this is when you vibrate slowly, you create, shall we say, more distance between the subjective and objective experience in the human form. This accentuates the illusion of separation, and it makes it very believable and experiential for you. As you vibrate, your form vibrates faster, the distance between the polarities closes, and eventually the interior and the exterior merge together as the same consciousness. And this is the enlightened experience that we are all looking for, where fragmentation is minimized, holistic experience is maximized, and we can experience the reality that internal and external are both the same consciousness. This is what we shoot for, this is what we aim for, and in that process, our bodies also have to adapt. This is why meditation is seems like a slow process. Because if you were to increase the vibrational patterns of your form, your physical form, instantly, to something like the speed of light, it would just fry it. You wouldn't be able to maintain life as a human. And so therefore your experience would end before you had it, or almost instantly as you had it. So that's why it takes time and patience as a meditator to be thorough in your self-inquiry process, to bring the unconscious to the conscious and clear whatever is not commensurate with a holistic experience of yourself and of life. And that's something that's been talked about in older traditions of meditations for many, many years. And it's one of the earlier descriptions of this in mystical traditions of humanity was called the music of the spheres. And it was kind of like an otherworldly experience of an expansion of one's awareness, huh? And it was something that people who had that experience, that's how they would describe their experience in the days before science and technology was developed. Huh? And there's also the experience of the earth, the experience of the vibrational, the average vibration of the earth itself, which was known as the Schumann frequency. And I remember many years ago when this first came up in our contemplations and discussions here at the sanctuary, the average vibrational pattern of the earth was, I think, 7.2 hertz, somewhere right in there, which is the alpha brainwave. And that is the beginning of a meditational experience. That is a more balanced frequency. But as of late, it's gone up to something like 13 hertz or above. And this is a more fragmented, this is the busy mind, this is a fragmented frequency of vibration here. So you can see there's a lot going on here in our day, and what that really means, we don't know yet, but it certainly doesn't enhance the experience of meditation, of slowing the brainwave frequencies. But it might be that it's going to eventually, well, I'm not going to go there about going higher than that. I don't think we want it to. So, the experience of human consciousness has both vertical polarities and horizontal polarities. The horizontal polarities are the primary trinity of our experience as human. And this is where we balance the body, our emotions, and a mind so they can slow down. And as they slow down, the ability for the vertical polarities of dense to subtle can begin to open up. We have to begin resonating our form in such a way that it can communicate with our subtle dimensions. They're there, but we're just not aware of them, and we can't experience ourselves as subtle dimensions until the line of communication, the awareness opens up so that we can experience them in some way or another. Many people have what they call downloads. They'll get a vision, or they'll hear a voice or something, because it's the subtle dimension of themselves speaking to themselves, informing them about something and letting them know that there's more to them than meets the eye. A lot of times people talk about angels and things like this. To me, that's probably the subtle dimensions of themselves speaking to them, communicating with them. And it's going through the mind, which has been decelerated, so that the mind reaches into the database that's appropriate for the person having the experience. And then whatever your background is and it's going to bring up the kind of imagery and understanding related to your own history and your experience. So it will come to you as an image that fits your experience. And if angels are it, that's what you might see or might take as. So changing your vibration, it's a long process. It takes time, But as you begin this process and the deeper you get into this process, the more sensitive you get to your environment, the more sensitive you get to what you eat and how that affects your vibrational rate, what thoughts bring you down and which thoughts help elevate your frequency of vibration, and same with emotions. So the clearing process that helps to remove obstacles to the consistent experience of holistic awareness are continually being cleared out as you become more and more subtle and you vibrate faster and faster. More subtle memories that might not be commensurate with your experience will also come to the surface to be clear. It's really an ongoing process that probably doesn't have an end, as far as we can see. But it's a process that becomes faster and faster. Where in the beginning, I remember when I first started meditating, my clearing process was a lot of times dominated by a lot of negative emotions, and it seemed like it would take maybe a whole day to get through a clearing process before I could start the next round of meditation where I could bring up more stuff to clear. And it was kind of a painful, slow process, and that's what I thought it was going to be. But today, it's a very different process for me. I'm still clearing memories. I'm still clearing whatever data comes up that is not commensurate with my current experience. But now it might take an hour or 2 hours at the most. Once in a great while, I might have a good portion of a day where I can tell that there's some fragmented data that I'm feeling or I'm thinking or whatever, because it's moving, it's leaving me. So, well, as much as I can get rid of. Ultimately, of course, as long as you're in the human form, some negative data is necessary. Some illusion is necessary, because that's what maintains the human experience. If you didn't have any, then you would not have in other words, you have to have both polarities in the field of experience, period, because that's what creates experience itself, the difference between the positive and negative polarities. So there's always going to be something there, and it's not necessarily something to clear. In the advanced stages of meditation, oftentimes you'll find there's data that you can see, or you think, or you can feel, but it's not necessarily having a big impact on you because you generated enough wholeness in yourself, and your frequency of vibration of your form is fast enough that it doesn't have much power anymore. If it doesn't have a lot of power, it's not going to be an obstacle. It's just going to be something to help you maintain your form as it begins to vibrate faster and faster and accommodate the faster vibration so that it doesn't destroy itself, and allows you the experience of a greater holistic experience while you're still alive, while you're still having the human experience. So it's really a balancing act all the way, so that you can remain as human and journey the journey from being unaware, very dense, vibrating very slowly, where fragmentation is maximized and fear-based experience is maximized accordingly, and then becoming more aware, having a wake-up call of some kind, an experience that tells you there's more to life than fear, where meditation and the desire to meditate begins to happen in your life, and then it becomes a regular routine part of your life, and then you generate enough holistic experience and balance in that you're on your way. Your body gets more and more subtle, and your choices become more and more subtle. The foods you want to eat, the kind of information you want to expose yourself to, the kind of environment you want to be in. It all tends to be more and more oriented towards that which supports a subtle dimensional experience. And that's how you evolve yourself. This is consciousness evolving itself for the sake of itself. So today I'm giving this little live presentation. It's raining outside. It's a early spring day or moving towards summer, but it's rainy and so forth. Now I could take that many ways, but to me it's like abundance. It's a celebration, and it's not something that I don't like, because I do like the rain. I can walk in the rain, and it's not going to be a negative experience for me. It's going to be kind of an exciting, joyful experience. So, and this is how the experience of life shifts as you vibrate faster and faster. The spaces between the polarities begin to collapse more and more, so that everything, the rain, the sun, the high winds, whatever, it's all the same. There's no, the differentiation is so slight that it becomes a non-issue. So whatever's going on around you is going on around you, because you see it as consciousness evolving itself, irregardless of what the expression of it is at the moment. For anybody, they're only doing what you've been doing for all your lifetimes to evolve yourself. So, hey, what's to fix, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Change your vibration and change your life. If you meditate daily, if you use contemplation such as this in relation to your meditative experience to help you gain more understanding of your experience, your choices will become naturally more and more subtle as well. So that's what I want to leave with you today, and I hope that your meditation is going well and that you are vibrating faster and faster day by day. Thank you.